Japan is famous for a low homelessness rate, which is due to societal factors like cultural stigma, strict laws against drug addiction, and accessible housing. However, the narrative goes on to reveal a much darker picture beneath the surface. The so-called cyber-homeless phenomenon emerges as a response to Japan's economic hardships, where individuals with low-paying, part-time jobs struggle to afford traditional housing and turn to internet cafes for refuge. This concealed homelessness phenomenon, known as net cafe refugees, remains largely unaccounted for in official statistics. The statistics shown by the non-governmental organization show that the actual number of homeless people in Japan is significantly higher than the official figures suggested by the government. The irony of its homelessness issue underscores the broader problem of poverty and economic instability in the country. While the official homeless rate is exceptionally low, the prevalence of precarious employment and individuals living in internet cafes or capsule hotels reflects a significant social challenge that remains hidden from view. Ultimately, this situation emphasizes the importance of looking beyond official statistics to gain a more accurate understanding of complex social issues. Official statistics in Japan report a low homelessness rate with a little amount of homeless people in a population of over 125 million, constituting only a little of the total population. This figure appears significantly lower than other countries known for their low homelessness rates, such as Switzerland, and is notably more favorable than the United States. Several factors contribute to Japan's officially low homelessness rate. Homelessness is portrayed as a difficult state to achieve due to the country's cultural disgrace of homeless people. Japanese culture often blames homeless people as responsible for their trouble, with little compassion or help given to them. This stigma is increased because a majority of its homeless population is composed of men, traditionally expected to be self-dependent, and their inability to do so is seen as an embarrassment. Furthermore, the government implements measures to make it challenging for people to be homeless, such as anti-homeless architecture and laws against public begging. These factors, along with the strict drug regulation laws and a strong healthcare system, have contributed to Japan's officially low homelessness rate. However, it is essential to note that these statistics may not accurately represent the true amount of homelessness in the country, as they may hide a larger population of invisible homeless people living in internet cafes and on the economic allowances. Being homeless in Japan is stigmatized to a large extent. Homelessness is viewed as a personal failing in Japan, and homeless people are often blamed for their trouble, lacking the compassion and support seen in other cultures. This cultural perspective is further worsened by the fact that a majority of homeless people in it are men, traditionally expected to be self-dependent. When they fail to meet society expectations, it is not only seen as a personal embarrassment, but also generates the stigma. As a result of these cultural beliefs, authorities have taken measures to make homelessness more challenging, including banning public begging and implementing anti-homeless architecture. It has made many laws to make homelessness difficult and socially unacceptable. One of the key tactics employed is the criminalization of public begging, a legal approach aimed at pushing homeless people out of public areas. This legal system not only discourages begging but also further isolates those experiencing homelessness by pushing them to the fringes of society. This involves designing public spaces in ways that discourage homeless people from using them as a makeshift place to take shelter. Measures include closing parks at night, making benches and other features not compatible for sleeping, and erecting physical barriers. These architectural measures, while ostensibly aimed at maintaining public order, also contribute to the removal of homelessness in urban areas, prolonging the idea that being homeless is socially unacceptable. These steps taken by the authorities against homeless people has increased the invisibility of the homeless people to a large amount. These laws have no mercy for the homeless people, leading to the decrease in the amount of homeless people to a large extent. It is one of those countries which have strong drug laws and a robust healthcare system, which results in a decreased amount of homeless people. Japan has strict laws against drug use, except alcohol, and has many severe punishment for these. This aspect is significant because in the United States, a significant amount of the homeless population has a mental illness. In Japan, people with severe mental illnesses are more likely to be placed in mental health institutions rather than ending up on the streets. The amount of strict drug laws and the accessibility of mental health support in Japan contributes to a lower prevalence of substance addiction and mental health-related homelessness. This makes it an important contributing reason to the country's officially low homelessness rate. It maintains stringent drug laws, and drug use, apart from alcohol, is met with severe punishment. As a result, only a little amount of the Japanese population has tried drugs other than alcohol in their lifetime, in contrast to the large number of Americans who have experimented with drugs. This contrast shows the drug addiction and its related issues are notably less prevalent in Japan. These things are one of the major reasons for the invisibility of homeless people in it. One of the major reasons for the less homelessness in Japan is the ease in building houses. In contrast to many Western countries where housing construction faces various regulatory problems, it stands out for its approach for having few restrictions, making it easier to build housing. This strategy not only imposes a more efficient construction process, but also contributes to the relative affordability of housing in it. This housing accessibility appears, on the surface, as a promising solution to the issue of homelessness. It creates an impression that Japan has effectively tackled a significant social problem, but it is not a complete reality. All these things that show this portrayal is not entirely accurate and hides deeper issues. Despite the ease accessibility to housing, Japan still experiences homelessness. The official statistics data fail to capture the full extent of the problem, as many individuals, often referred to as net cafe refugees, remain in economic precarity, unable to secure stable housing despite the apparent housing availability. Its workforce includes many people in part-time or temporary jobs with low pay, often referred to as the lost generation. These people face many difficult struggles to afford even the relatively affordable housing, which badly affects their economic instability. The lost generation in Japan represents a part of the population marked by low-paying temporary and part-time jobs, which, despite the country's relatively affordable housing, left many individuals unable to secure a stable and a good living situation. These individuals were often unable to hold down apartments and pay monthly rents, leading to a sense of displacement and uncertainty about their future. This group essentially became trapped in a cycle of economic instability. Cyber homelessness is also a big problem faced by Japanese people. To avoid the social shame and stigma linked with homelessness in Japanese society, over time, cafes expanded their services to include items such as food, drinks, and showers, effectively transforming them into makeshift shelters for individuals struggling to secure more traditional housing.